What's going on, everybody? Graydon here, LPM channel. We got HermitStyle in the building. What's going on, Hermit?
Yo, what's going on, man?
How are you? You got your whole setup there. You look perfect. You got your microphone, your headphones. You're rocking it.
I'm ready. I even got a haircut just for you.
I love it. You were coming just from a haircut, all fresh for the
I came
stream.
straight from the barber. No lie.
How often do you get a haircut? What's a normal time to go without a haircut?
Like 6 weeks or so, 6, 7, 8 weeks.
Man, I'm in desperate need of a haircut. My hair just grows gray, so when I get it cut, I look a little bit younger. Lose a bit of the gray. Yeah. So today we were going to have a stream and a conversation about sort of the state of the hobby, things that we've been collecting, things that we've picked up, and that we're enjoying right now. Why don't we start out with what has been your favorite set this year? What's one that stands out to you?
Ooh, okay. So favorite set, I would say, it's not a new set, but the recent e-pack release of Masterpieces. That was my by far favorite thing I've probably done in any of the card things I've ever done.
Yeah. That's the set you participated in the most?
Oh yeah. Oh, by far. By far.
And we did a reveal that was super fun. We did a reveal of your uncut sheet.
Yes.
And what a beauty that thing is.
It's at the framer.
It's at the framer. It's amazing.
It's currently at the framer. Yep. So I should get it back next week.
Is that an item to go in your hobby room, or is that is it too big? Yeah. Perfect.
Oh yeah. So you can't see them, but I have the two. I don't know if you remember when Upper Deck released a little, I don't know what to call them. The like numbered sheets. They weren't uncut sheets, but from Dan's art from the set.
Yeah, the posters.
Yeah, exactly. So I have both of those hanging up. So I think I'm going to find a way to kind of get all three of them together.
Oh, very cool. I love that idea. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Were you surprised how quickly Masterpiece sold out?
I don't know if I was surprised, but we talked about it last on the channel. I'm still pretty new to Marvel, so I'm used to, like, in a lot of games, stuff selling out like really quick. So,
yeah, I guess you're used to that world.
Yeah, so I didn't really know what to expect. This was really the first e-pack release I went hard on. So I was like, oh, okay, this is just how it works. But I know a lot of people were surprised.
E-pack is one of those funny things. I find everybody who comes in new to a degree is always a little bit puzzled with e-pack. It's a totally different beast in collecting.
So different.
Is there anything like that for Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Yeah.
No, but it was funny because I was telling some of my friends about it that are like kind of into Marvel, but they mainly collect Dragon Ball. And they're like, hold on, it's a free service that will just organize my whole collection that I can trade with people. I can sell it, or I can just send it home whenever I want. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, and my bulk sometimes can be combined into better cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And they're like, this is the best thing I've ever heard of.
When you describe it like that, it's really, really cool. I like, I really enjoy e-pack in the sense where rather than having to just wonder what's out there and what people own, you can search it. It's like a database for you to be able to look into. And it's a bit of a skill in itself, learning how to search cards on e-pack, like learning the keywords that you want to include in order to track something down.
Oh yeah. For sure.
And it really promotes trading. It really, really promotes trading within the trading card hobby,
which is cool because I feel like trading in the trading card hobby has gone down. People don't trade. Everyone's just trying to sell. Everyone wants to sell. But people don't trade that much.
One of the Facebook buzzwords this year has been e-pack sale.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's still a lot of sales, but it does make you. I mean, Masterpieces. So many people were trading. People were going nuts.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. A lot of really crazy trades going on.
Yeah.
Lots of people reach out to me when they're going to make a trade and are wondering if it's a good trade. It's really hard to look at these trades. Like some people, especially when there's multiple cards involved, when you're going like sketch for sketch or something, it's pretty easy. But when you've got, like, say someone's offering 8 cards for your 2 or whatever, it gets really challenging to figure out how to value those trades.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's fun. That's part of the game, though, right? That's part of the allure.
I was working a trade this morning. It fell through. We were going back and forth. It was like a ton of cards, and we couldn't meet on it. But
what do you think your success rate is on e-pack offering a trade, or look like people sending you a trade?
If it's a random person, very small.
Very small, yeah.
Very small. If it's a random person. Now, if I post like in the Discord or like on Facebook and someone reaches out, it's very high. Usually we can make something work once I'm actually talking to them. But yeah, just randomly just looking through the list of who owns what and sending stuff out. It does work sometimes, but I would argue 5% of the time. I mean, and then ePack runs so slow. It's like, do I really want to send out 50 trades for no one, either half the people not to look, and the other half to just reject it and not message me or make a counter?
Sometimes I feel bad. I'm like, oh, I'm just pestering this person at this point. They haven't answered me in 3 messages. I'm just being that annoying guy, you know.
Just go for it, man. Just go for it.
Sometimes
your last match, you're allowed to.
You know, and sometimes on that last attempt is when they actually respond. It's funny. One of the cool things on ePack too that I've been kind of an insert that I've been enjoying a lot lately are comic cuts. So going on ePack and like being able to search through and look at all the comic cuts from Fleer Ultra Wolverine and other sets, it's been super fun. There were some interesting ones from Avengers Metal.
Yeah, really good ones. Also some really bad ones, but
also really strange character choices.
Yeah, really weird ones, really weird cuts that they pulled, but some just incredible. I have one pulled to show on the show today right in front of me that I'm excited to show off.
Why don't we start with that? Why don't you show us?
You want to see it? Okay. Yeah. So this one, I was so happy to get this. Fausto messaged me and was like, dude, and he sent me the link, and literally I saw the preview and I just started smashing my finger as fast as I could to just buy it.
So I'm going to guess it's a Scarlet Witch card.
How did you know?
You know, these character collectors, we're so predictable. Eh?
I know. But no, this is an Avengers Metal comic cut. It's from Avengers 125. And it is number 10 out of 65. And it is this.
Oh, wow. That's a great cut.
Dude.
That's a really, really well put together cut.
Oh my gosh. I saw and I was like, oh, I don't even know if I saw what the price was. I think I just bought
it. It's a must-have item. I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
There are these ones where you're like, I just need to have this. I will sleep better at night knowing I have this.
Oh man, I was so pumped. Yeah, thanks, Jake. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was super happy to have this one. Yeah. I mean, just it's just perfect.
That's a gorgeous cut. I really like it. It's exciting pulling cuts. They're like one of the inserts that still kind of catch me off guard. I'm like, oh, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's a comic cut. You know, it's fun to one thing I posted in the Facebook group a little while ago, I was wondering how everybody is housing their comic cuts. And I see yours is in a top loader. Are you a binder guy, or like how do you like to store these inserts of yours?
Yeah, so I do top loader and then in the binder. So I have one of the top loader binders, and I specifically only get for Marvel the ones that are the clear sleeves. Cool. That way I can see both sides.
It is nice seeing the back.
Yep.
It really nice.
Which is weird because I'm not used to that. In Dragon Ball, I like all the blackout pages because it just looks a lot nicer. Sometimes I feel like the clear pages can look a little cheap compared to the ones that are blacked out.
Gotcha.
But the clear pages are so much better for Marvel because there's so much going on in the back of these cards. It's so cool.
There is a lot going on. You're totally right. Something that is new to me in the hobby. So when I was younger, everything was in a binder, but now the top loader binder is something that's a completely new phenomena in collecting today. And for me, it took me a little while to get my head wrapped around it. And it's just a brilliant idea. Just a little extra layer of protection. I found the binders to be really bulky at first until I kind of got used to it, and now I like that. I think they store really well on a bookshelf.
I'm literally looking right now. I don't have enough room for all my binders, so I just have a pile of maybe like 20 that are full, just like in a stack like this.
Yeah.
Sitting next to my cabinet where I put the rest of my binders. So they do get a little bulky.
One of the things that you and I shared recently was the uncut sheet conversation.
Oh, hang on. Boom, got you.
Love it. Yeah, so there we go. And super exciting that we were both doing the uncut sheet thing. And that I really enjoyed seeing yours. It was really, really cool. It was really, really neat to see. And it was just it's fun having the card.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Like
it's in my mind.
I want to display with the uncut sheet.
That's actually wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to figure something out when I get it back. That's
Totally.
smart.
Yeah. What the process of going through and like submitting it all through Upper Deck 2 was pretty easy. Like I appreciated that about it. It was just straightforward. I know that you had showed your preliminary art redemption.
Yep.
Did you do a second one? Did you end up finding a second one?
I did. So yeah, last one's on the channel. We got Ultron.
Yeah.
And my buddy Funk hit me up. He's a big Ultron collector, and I was like, dude, we have to get this to you. But I also have to have a piece of preliminary art from Dan. I was like, but we can make both work. So we we were just like in messages, like strategizing on how we can make it work. And what ended up happening was he got a deal on another redemption card. So I was like, well, I'll just trade you straight up. I'll trade you the Ultron. You trade me another redemption, and I'll roll the dice again. So my new redemption came in today. It got lost in the mail for a little bit. Oh, and I've been freaking out. I was calling USPS. They couldn't find it. They're like, yeah, we don't know. You're just going to have to wait. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know? I paid like $50 for shipping.
Yes.
But
isn't that the most frustrating thing in the world, though, when you're just at the mercy of the shipping companies?
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. But we got it. We got it today, so I could breathe again. I redeemed it, and now we wait.
Yeah. What is the character that you're hoping for? Because Scarlet Witch has already been pulled, is it not?
Has she?
I'm not sure. I'm asking if you.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, don't ruin my dreams yet.
No, Graydon. That's right. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. No, I don't know if she's been pulled. I have not seen her in the wild, and I've talked to a couple friends that have been doing a way better job than me at tracking it. Funk's one of them, and to my knowledge, she's still out there. There's still some really good characters out there too.
I really hope you.
Scarlet's what I want.
What a great idea that Jake did here. So he says Dan was nice enough to sign my redemption card. Definitely worth doing.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Brilliant idea, Jake. You're a classy man. And we got Vintage Lord jumping on, saying hi, Graydon.
Hey.
Vintage Lord's always posting cool stuff. I really enjoy seeing the depth of that guy's collection. Is really cool. There's just so much old stuff in there. It's really, really neat.
Nice. I need to pay more attention.
Instagram is one of those. Excuse me. Instagram is one of those great. I love Instagram. Like I think it's my favorite social media to use, especially for collecting. In this year, we've kind of been talking about the state of the hobby, all of the sets that have come out that we are enjoying, the ones that we like. One thing I've collected a lot of this year are good friends. Something that I've managed to assemble is this year is just meeting, yourself included, it's just meeting a ton of people. And like, just like, the collecting is so much more fun with everybody else. And I find Instagram to be one of those platforms where we all get to really participate.
Dude, yeah. And Instagram is definitely where it's at for collectibles, sharing your collection. It's nice because your page can kind of just act as like this almost transcript of all of your favorite pieces. You can go through and you can look through people's collections and see what they have, which I think is like so cool. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. And jumping into Marvel has been really refreshing. I've also met a lot of amazing people like you and just so many people in the community. It's been really fun. Really fun.
Lots of great people in the hobby.
That's the best part.
Jake asked an interesting question here. He says, Graydon, did you get your redemption in before they quote unquote ran out? So I'll tell you guys a little bit of a story about it. So I hadn't redeemed it, and I read that they were out and that there was somebody had shared a screenshot saying that they were no longer available. And I had a mild panic moment because I spent a ton of money on getting that redemption card.
Yeah.
And so I was really, really concerned. And so right away, I went on to the Upper Deck website and I redeemed my card and no problems.
Redeemed no problem. Wow.
So I don't know if that was possibly for one person, because there's been tons of glitches with EPAC stuff. And, I don't know.
Bro, I mean, what if there's specific issues with just specific sheets that they were supposed to have?
There you go. So maybe the one
you had a code for the cover variant sheet, right?
No, you're totally right. Like that could have been it too. So to answer Jake's question, I got very concerned when I saw that, and I just went on right away and I redeemed it. And I just was smooth sailing. So, and I mean, I have no update on it. It's supposed to be 12 to 16 weeks. But so far, I guess I have no cause for panic. Maybe I'll do a video updating us about all of this once I get a few more details. But so far, I'm not losing any sleep over it because it's so far just smooth sailing.
Good.
It said it was in stock. I think you're right, though, Hermit. I think that the redemption codes are specific to what type of sheet. So maybe that unfortunate person just hit the one that was out. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That, I feel like it has to be what it is. Man, I'm so happy that that did not happen to you, though. I didn't even think about that.
I do feel for the if that has happened, if that has happened to any of you, I really do feel for you, and I hope that Upper Deck finds some way to make that right for you guys. I've been noticing a lot lately that for Upper Deck replacements have been crazy lately. Like people who have been like, oh, I bought a box and I'm missing a hit, got like printing plates, seismic golds, like all sorts of crazy stuff. So perhaps if that happens to anybody with their sheet, maybe there will be an opportunity there to make it really, really right. Just speculating, completely.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I mean, it's hard because it's like if I pay, like I paid for the sheet, I would almost want enough cards in like resale value of a sheet.
Yeah.
So when someone redeems post on eBay, I can just go sell off the cards they sent me and buy it. But
totally.
Are you really going to get that much value? I don't, because how do you? I think it's easier when you're missing a hit because it's like card for card. It sucks a little bit, but it's like, yeah, it's random, whatever.
Yeah.
But a sheet, it's like, dang, that was my sheet.
It brings up such an interesting. Like, I'm so glad that Jake brought it up. I wasn't even sure if we were going to talk about this, but because I don't want to spread any panic here. But maybe this will relieve some people the fact that mine went through no problem.
Yeah,
there's lots of them still on ePack. I think last time I checked, there were 6 of them sitting there, and I haven't heard of anybody else redeeming them since this took place. So I would really, really like to see in one of the Facebook groups or even in the chat somebody and their experience with redeeming it after that news dropped that they were potentially out of stock. But really interested to see what happens with that. I mean, I really hope I don't get screwed over in it, and I hope you guys don't either. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, just be careful. I would not be buying.
And so it's interesting you say that because I saw a couple people selling them and had disclaimers, and this kind of speaks to how the quality of people that are in Marvel. This person who had posted it for sale also posted below it, there's been a fiasco with this and there's apparently a shortage of them or something like that, and indicated buy at your own risk. You know what I mean? Just in the spirit of transparency. I thought that was really classy.
That's good.
Yeah, I thought that because I mean, personally, like I bought mine and now I'm a little nervous about it, but I don't at the moment I don't have any reason to be. So
yeah, no, you should be good. You should be good.
I'm just gonna. I mean, I must assume that I'm just gonna assume I'm gonna get the base one or something, and it's no big deal. But I don't know. Maybe they ran out of the gold sig one. Maybe they ran out of the, maybe it was the variant cover one because they were getting them split, and then people were like, whoa, I need both sides here. Like, what's going on? So they were mailing out the other side. So maybe they counted each half as one.
Right.
I mean, totally
conspiracy theory, but like maybe they ran out of half of the cover variant sheets.
Yeah, maybe it was those ones just because of that. Total speculation here, guys.
Yeah.
Hermit got a haircut, so he's not wearing his tinfoil hat, but I'm doing it for both of us.
There you go.
And yeah, oh man, I got my Flair Ultra Wolverine uncut sheet in the mail, and it was the funniest thing. Like this gigantic box shows up at the front door, just an absolutely enormous box. And I remember watching yours arrive, and it came in a tube. So I was like, what is going on here? And I opened it up on the floor in my living room because it was the only space it would fit. And the entire uncut sheet is in a top loader.
Yeah.
It's in the world's biggest top loader. And it was really funny. It was really, really funny. I laughed and laughed and laughed. And it perfectly preserved it. They're beautiful, beautiful corners.
I can't believe it. I guess maybe there wasn't one big enough for the masterpieces ones.
I'm not sure. I would really love to get one for it. Because, when you brought yours to the framers, I wonder, like, are they going to glue it to a poster board? Or, like, is it ever going to be able to be a sheet that's loose again? Or is it permanently fixed to something now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, never thought about it.
And so with the top loader, I can frame it inside the top loader. And one day it's still just the sheet.
It's still just the sheet.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that one.
I've had so much time to think about stuff lately because I've been stuck at work working nights, and all of these crazy Marvel theories are just going. And I'm like, just scheming away of how to get these giant top loaders. Pure Profit says, "What's going on, fellas? Thanks so much for joining the chat, buddy." And we got Ryan Davidson jumping on. It's a Saturday afternoon. I don't know what everybody's doing. It's a bit early for everyone. I know that it hasn't even been dinner time, but we wanted to jump on and kind of just have a fun little chat, show some stuff off that we've been collecting. And last time we did a stream, I was in a crazy storm. I had no electricity. And I had to go to a local pub in the town I was visiting to get it so we could do this stream. And
I was like, dude, we can do it later. And you're just like, we're doing it.
Well, when you set a time, you're a busy guy. I wanted to. My dad was in the pub and he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it, Dad. I got to do this right now." Don't mind me. We got Inner Global Collectibles saying, "How would the glare on that be?" And I'm assuming he's talking about the top loader in there. You're right. There probably would be some glare. I don't stress so much about those things because, when they're protected, I sleep better at night. So a little bit of glare isn't really gonna affect my life. The top loaders also have like a little bit of that blue tinge to it that you probably notice in a regular one, but when it's a giant one, you really notice it. So not losing too much sleep over it. We've got the card collector in here, Mr. Jason, who's in New York City. He posted a wicked reel today. Everybody get over there and check out the Card Collector Show. Follow this man on Instagram. Check him out on YouTube. He got a Doom sketch for me today that he opened live on Instagram, which was really, really cool. I think I sent over 5 blank sketch cards for him and his daughter. His daughter's been into drawing, doing some Marvel stuff, so I wanted her to have a couple of blanks to draw on. And,
dude, that's awesome.
And Jason's always getting commissions from artists. So Jason, I really hope that you get to use those cards those blanks to get some artists on to do. Dre did a couple recently. He did an Apocalypse on the cardstock. And he was like, these are wicked to beat up and paint on. So it was really good feedback. It was nice to hear that the artist.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
It's fun having channel stock. It's like, I really, really like the channel stock. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We got Pull and Fire going on. He goes, "Whoops, wrong account. What's going on, fellas?"
Fire.
Yeah, what's happening? It's been one of the things I've enjoyed so much about this year is seeing people's character collections grow. So, like yourself included in this, when you're watching your friends' character collections grow, maybe start to look like yours, maybe give you some ideas of what you might want to collect. It's been super, super fun. Super fun seeing what everyone's doing. Comic cuts have kind of been an insert that have been popular lately, with people discovering their characters on a couple of them. And it typically isn't something where you have 100 of them. You have 5 of them and you're thrilled to have them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Really, I'm always looking for really key moments for my character, key moments in the comics and their story. That's just fun.
I was always so hi Mike. We got Mike Vines jumping in the chat. Mike Vines is a regular on the channel. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. One of the things that I've been really I was nervous about comic cuts because I only ever saw 3 Sabretooth ones ever. And then when Fleer Ultra Wolverine came out, there was a plethora of that were there. It was actually Fleer Ultra Sabretooth. I don't even know why they call it Fleer Ultra. But I ended up getting a bunch of cool cuts from it, and it was really cool. It was a really fun chase. It was something that was really worth doing. It was cool. I felt spoiled. I felt really spoiled.
Was that your favorite set, or what was your favorite set of the year?
No problem, hands down, absolutely. Fleer Ultra Wolverine has been my favorite set to collect and to be a part of on EPAC. I love that it's still available because it's still exciting. Every day I still get to go and check for new items that I'm after because it's still getting opened, and it's just, it's been amazingly fun. And I want to call it my favorite from a participation standpoint. Artwork wise, my favorite set was MM22. Insert wise, my favorite set was Avengers Metal. I think that the PMGs, I love PMGs. I'm a huge fan of PMGs. There wasn't one Sabretooth in there. So I got to experience and I was actually sort of relieved, to be honest with you, that there wasn't, because I got to participate in a way that was a little bit different. I did a rainbow of Atlas, of the character Atlas.
Oh, nice.
And that was a really fun chase. It was just a quickie, but it was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, it was cool. Avengers Metal was cool. Actually, I have the Scarlet Witch. I finished the 3 red PMGs just recently. I always look for color matches though, so I don't go too crazy. I don't usually do like a full rainbow. I just look for base color match, and then I'm like, okay, I'm all right. I can stop.
I want to touch on that. I just really quickly, I want to say what's up to Donnie in the chat. Donnie just jumped on. RMS Collects is in here. What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday. Pulling Fire says, has Hermit shown his redemption yet?
Not in yet. It was the card fire, just the redemption card that came in today.
Something that you just mentioned about like, oh, I'm gonna call this my rainbow and I'm gonna be done with it, and that's it. Something I think with all of these sets coming out, I feel as though some character collectors have been putting unfair pressure on themselves that they have to have everything. And I think that everybody needs to keep it light and enjoyable by choosing something that's completely reasonable for them to get. You know, my rainbows, once I've got enough, I'm like, you know what, this is as good as it's going to get. Like, this is enough. I can't have everything, right? Yep.
It's just too hard, man. There's too many sets to keep up. I mean, if you got it like that, you got it. Good for you. No, no hate. I'm happy for you.
Likewise.
But
it's the long game you gotta play in this world.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna fully rainbow every single set. It's just not realistic for me. So I'm happy.
Fire says I do need everything. I totally get it. I totally get where you guys are coming from. I love it.
You're also not wrong.
VP Trading Cards. Speaking of great Instagrams, this man has an absolutely amazing Instagram. Check this guy out. Catching the live finally. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. I appreciate it. You know, something I've noticed this year with lots of sets coming out is that there's just so much available. It's kind of an amazing time to be a collector because prices are, for the most part, much cheaper than we've seen in the year before, just because of the amount of stuff that's out there. I mean, there are nonstop red PMGs being sold right now for $15-20. There are those diamond out of 25. They're not numbered, but apparently they're out of 25. I don't know that for certain, but those diamond PMGs that were an achievement that are going for $40, $30, and out of 25 PMG. You know what I mean? So right now is an awesome time to, like, for a collector, possibly not the best time to be a seller, but when you're a collector right now, there's just so much stuff to pick from. I glance at stuff all day long. It's like, I think it's a hobby within the hobby right now. Is we just
it's bad.
Doom scrolling, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, literally, I'm just all day, like every 30 minutes to an hour, I'm like, I wonder what's popped up on eBay. I wonder what's popped up on ComC. I check my saved searches. You know, it's bad. It's bad.
It's awesome. Another thing that I've been doom scrolling through is people going live on Instagram. So Brittany, welcome to the chat, did a really cool live with Swish Rips the other day in like the middle of the night. I love the late night crowd Marvel people. I love the late nights. They're so fun. And they were opening up a trilogy. What was it? Avengers trilogy? No, Allegiance trilogy.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was really, really fun to jump on and just like, I feel like there's so much going on right now that like at any kind of time you can hop on and catch a Marvel stream and be a part of it and have a fun part of the conversation.
That's fun. Dude, I love that set, by the way.
The Witch?
No, trilogy. That set's so cool.
It's well, we watched a great video from Fausto today where he pulled a Silver Surfer comic cut.
I know.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy. I mean, I've watched Fausto open a lot of product and hit absolute dust, and to hit the exact thing that he wanted. I was really happy for him. That was very cool. Shout out to Fausto.
Awesome.
Sketch Card Hive channel. Greg, a good buddy of mine here, is saying, I discovered ComC and found it a great source to fill in empty spots in my sets. ComC, amazing. Absolutely a great resource to search through. I mean, you got, for people, especially for you guys that live in other countries and get just slammed with eBay shipping and import fees and all that. ComC for everyone. If you are overseas in Europe, Australia, Canada, Mexico, all of the, like, you know, when you get your YouTube analytics, I know there's a ton of you guys out there watching the channel. ComC is a great place to get some super cheap shipping. It'll show up in a month or two, but totally worth it.
Oh, dude, I love ComC. It's great. And it's nice too when you sell stuff on there. It's just credit, so then you don't have to actually eat the fee to take out your cash. You can just buy more cards.
I haven't
Well, this
really,
is what I want.
I haven't used ComC in that way. I've only ever just bought bulk stuff and shipped it to myself. But I really do like using it for, like Greg was saying, to fill in gaps. It's a great way to go through and fill in. I do proxy cards in my binders. I don't know about you, but like when I'm missing something, I have a space for it, and I have like a baseball card
Me
in
too.
it.
I have a I take just little sheets of paper and I just write down whatever card it's supposed to be and I just slide it in.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great way to be organized. Mike Vine says, to be honest, I'm a set builder and I need 2 or 3 more cards personally. I'll buy another box just so I can rip. I love that. I love it, Mike.
Madman. Fantastic.
It's a great feeling pulling that proxy card out and replacing it with the actual card. When you're
dude, yeah, it's
when
great.
you're building a set or whatever,
Especially
right?
the last one. Like when you finish, or even if it's just a part of the set. Like I've been working on the WandaVision set. And I'm so close to having just the base set done.
Yeah.
And I have one card I'm searching for, and I cannot wait till I pull that thing out and put in the last card.
What is it about WandaVision that we talked about it a bit before in the last stream, but talk to us a bit about what your experience with WandaVision's been.
Oh, it's been cool. So anytime it goes on sale on ePack, I just buy a couple packs. And then my goal is just, well, WandaVision, I went a little crazy. I'm trying to have, I don't need a full rainbow anything, but I want one of everything. So one of everything that they did in the set, and I have my binder already set up for it, but I want one of every card. And the way I pick the cards is just whatever I think looks best.
Cool.
So whatever layout, whatever, like, for example, the numbers 1 through 19 of the base set are from the first couple episodes when it was like black and white on the show, like the whole actual show's in black and white. So are the cards. So for those, I'm only getting the out of 25 black and white variants of those cards. That's it. Those are the only ones I want. Everything after that, I want with the red parallel because like it's WandaVision, red. Why would I not want red? So now from 20 through I think it's 90, if I remember right, is all the red parallel, except there's one random one where Agatha is revealed. I think it's like maybe 60 something. And that one's also black and white. Everything else is red.
Who is your favorite character in WandaVision?
I mean, it has to be Scarlet Witch, but if we're omitting Scarlet Witch, Wanda, I don't know. That's actually really tough. I want to say Vision, but I feel like that's like a really cop out answer.
Well,
like,
which
will pick the other one.
I think that WandaVision is really cool for a character collector like yourself because you're getting a set that just it's almost like it's built for you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I'll actually, here, I'll show off this card from WandaVision.
Yeah,
I picked this up to show off. I did my homework. He said to find some cool cards to show off. I picked up this year, so I did. I put some thought into it. So this was my first like auto I pulled from WandaVision. Well, the only auto I pulled from WandaVision. But I was a big fan growing up of that 70s show. So the fact that Deborah Jo Rupp was in it, and like I was just so pumped. I pulled this the first time WandaVision went on sale. I bought a box and pulled this.
Amazing.
So, and I think the film sales are so cool. I pulled one other one just to show, but
they look great. They look really, really good.
Yeah, my plan is to have one of each of them, which is a task because they put a million of them into the set for some reason. But we're working on it.
I've been opening Eternals lately.
Oh, that's cool. Are you a big Eternals fan?
You know, I'm not a excuse me, I'm not a huge Eternals fan, but I enjoyed the movie and I watched it with my wife. And you know, when you can find a movie to watch with your spouse and both of you enjoy it, it's a special moment when you're married. You know, it's part of it. Can take longer to find a show than to watch a show. And I think a lot of you guys know what I mean out there. And so when we watched the movie, we really enjoyed the movie. And I was like, man, there's card sets out there for this. And I looked it up and they were like $40. They were like, and I was like, I'm going to grab 4 of these to open them.
Yeah.
And so I opened one. I'm going to post the video tomorrow. Actually, I opened it with Ian Taylor, and he's really into that set. And so his enthusiasm kind of fed my enthusiasm for it. And I really, really enjoyed opening it. I have 2 more to open. And once I release the video, I'll open up more in a live as well. But there's autos in it. There's some really cool foiling on the cards. And for me, it's fun. Like I really enjoy character collecting. And when my character's not in a set, I like find a way to enjoy it even more because there's no pressure. I'm like, I think I enjoy the cards in a set that Sabretooth isn't in because I have no dog in that fight in a way. I'm like an innocent bystander just going through it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny you say that because that's a reason. One of my other favorite sets this year that I was going to talk about is the one that just released, the Disney Plus Series 1.
Gotcha.
And the reason I think I love it so much though is because that was the same thing with us. Me and my wife, we love the Marvel content. So all the Disney Plus shows, that's like big in our household. Like we get ready, we watch it right when it drops. It's a big deal. So that's like all our favorite shows. And that was actually the first Marvel box that she was even interested in. So we opened it together. And she was the one who pulled this Wanda out of the box. And I was like, how cool is that? The box that we got, and then we pull the, what is it, out of 250, the Portrait Wanda. So, and they did a really nice job with these. Sometimes I think the MCU sets can look a little goofy, like a little tacky with the, I don't know. They just look, to me, it looks a little corny, but they did really a nice job with this. They made it look really professional and clean, and I don't know, I really like it. So.
Oh, I agree. I think that's really cool. That I appreciate hearing that you found a way to enjoy it with your spouse as well. I mean, that's kind of part of the joy of doing all of this is having someone to share it with, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, Donnie's asking, what's your guys' favorite Marvel show? Do you go first? Where do you want to go with this?
I mean, I feel like such a dork. We'll omit all right, WandaVision's number one. Next to WandaVision, I would say, damn it, because now I was gonna say Agatha all along. So now I'm even more of a dork. Okay, we'll omit those two. Okay. We'll go with something not related at all to Scarlet, any witch. I'll say Punisher.
Oh, cool. Great answer.
Punisher.
Really good answer. Me, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the two original cartoons, the Spider-Man and X-Men cartoons for me.
Oh, that's good.
Are just I literally still sit down on a Saturday morning, throw those on and watch an episode or two while I have my coffee. And I don't know if it's watching those reminds me of great times of my life of being a kid, or if I'm still actually like am that kid. I still am just a 12-year-old watching these cartoons. Just
all
so
those grown-up kids.
Yeah, totally. And like sometimes I have a comic book out while I'm watching it. Sometimes I have a binder. Sometimes I watch the cartoon and I feel inspired to sit down and draw something. I don't know, those two cartoons, the Spider-Man and the X-Men cartoon, really do it for me.
So that's interesting too that you say that, because I wasn't as big into like the superhero animation as a kid. I was really big into Dragon Ball. And that was like a big deal for me. And I've recently gotten into collecting like the original animation art, like from the studio. Is that something that you've ever looked into for like X-Men or Spider-Man or anything like that?
Great question. A number of people have sent me stuff like that. And for me, I've really tried to refine my collection to just cards. So I have no original art. I have the only original art I have are sketch cards. So I have sketch cards and just the cards. And I decided that I was going to start to add one more element to my my collecting, my Sabretooth collection, and that was comics. So instead of going after animation cells and stuff like that, I started to grab the comics, and this is an example of one. This is a foreign comic, and I have the other versions in CGC slabs, but I like to have the foreign version to go with the comic, and that's sort of been the thing I've added.
Oh, nice. That's really cool though, and good for you, because I wish I had that kind of self-control.
It is a lot of self-control, because when I see your guys, I love art. So when I see all you guys with original art, I get a little bit jealous. I'm like, man, I kind of want to, maybe I want to do that. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to keep my collection looking a certain way, and original art isn't going to fit into that one. But I want to see some examples of your animations if you have them handy.
Oh, I do. Give me. I have to go get them. So give me like. Is it okay if I leave real quick?
Absolutely, absolutely, right. Totally. Donnie is saying that I love the animation cells. I have a Batman Beyond, used to have an X-Men as well. They're really, really cool. So, from my understanding of them, I see the backgrounds that are painted, and then your character goes right over top of it. Donnie, how do you have it framed up? Like, what's the system that you put them on the wall? Is this something that you guys keep in a binder? I'm always interested to know how you guys are storing stuff like that. I love that we have like Hermit collecting different stuff, so we get like examples for, like, across hobbies. Like, it's nice seeing people collect across different types of cartoon and comics. It's really cool.
Okay, so I've got the first one here. This one's pretty cool. So this one is a Roshi. If you don't know HermitStyle, that comes from Master Roshi from Dragon Ball.
Cool.
He's one of my favorite characters. So the first piece of animation art that I bought was a Roshi, and I want to get it so I don't mess it up here. I'm gonna get this framed eventually. But this is one of the first appearances of Roshi. It's from episode 2 of Dragon Ball Z, and first appearance from Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, original Dragon Ball, he's around a lot. But in DBZ, this is him when Raditz comes, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, to take Gohan.
Cool.
So the only bummer about this is, so with the art, the front is the animation cell, and then behind it is the Duga, or I might be saying that wrong. Don't mind me. But it's actually stuck to it. So I can't actually get the original sketch off of the cell. That's why if you see,
I'll
hold it real close, you can see behind it is the sketch, but they're actually stuck together.
Okay.
That happens a lot, especially with some of the old ones that weren't well taken care of. So a little bit of a bummer it was like that, but because of that, I got a really good deal on it, and I just really wanted a Roshi. So yeah, that is that one.
Donnie's asking the most specific question I've ever heard asked on this stream.
But how many frames per second? Oh man, I don't know. I guess I'm a poser, Donnie. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
That's a great question, though, Donnie. I do not have the answer to that.
I don't know. Maybe someone else knows. I don't know. Yeah. Here's the next one. So this one is, if you can see, I can't really see what's going on my camera. Is it in frame?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, cool. So this is Goku from when he first gets to Namek, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, and is fighting the Ginyu Force. So just a nice little close-up shot of Goku there.
Very cool.
And the only other piece of art I have from Dragon Ball is this one. And this one, so Roshi's my favorite character, so I love that one. But just art-wise, this one's my favorite. It's just the amount of detail in an animation sketch is really good. And I will not try to pronounce the person's name, but I can certainly let anyone know who would like to see it and send it to you in a message. But they are renowned for fighting scenes in anime. And this is the last episode of Dragon Ball GT, where Goku Jr. fights Vegeta Jr. in the World Tournament. And just such a cool piece.
So cool.
I bought this up as soon as I saw it posted. My friend had it for a while, and when I saw he was ready to part with it, I was like, "Oh, that's mine. I need that."
It's nice that when it comes from a friend's collection,
Yes. Yes.
Brittany is answering Donnie's question, saying 24 frames per second, which is awesome. Thank you for filling us in on that. Britt's like, Donnie says, Britt, you're on it. Blake says, I kicked myself in the butt. Back in early 2000s, I passed up being some original Akira anime cell art from the movie. I love Akira. Akira is so cool.
Yeah, there's so much cool art out there. There's so much for Dragon Ball. And it's funny, a lot of it's getting really popular right now. So now it's getting harder to find. And I'm mad that I also slept on it for a while.
Why is it that you think that Dragon Ball is becoming more popular right now?
Well, there's a few reasons. They just launched the new show. So there's Dragon Ball Daima, which is the new series, which we haven't had a new series in like 6 years or something like that, 7 years. So that's a big thing. They also launched the new game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which for those of you that played the old Budokai games like Tenkaichi, this is the next iteration, which they haven't released a game like that in a very long time. So there's a lot of hype around that. And then Dragon Ball collectors have always been so focused on cards. But what's interesting is when Fusion World got introduced, I don't know how much everyone knows, but there was a game called Dragon Ball Super Masters. I don't know why I said was. It still is a game. But it branched off into 2. So it used to just be the card game. Now they've renamed it as Masters, and they have another one called Fusion World. Masters is like your more complex one. It's very similar. I could compare it to like Magic the Gathering. Fusion World is like watered down. It's kind of like baby's first card game type of thing. So it's a much easier introduction point for new players to play. But what happened was there's so much more art and more cards coming in that I think it's actually pushing Dragon Ball collectors into saying like, there's so many cards that are just using the same art over and over and over. Because Dragon Ball isn't like Marvel, where Marvel has all this original art. It's pretty much all just from the show with the Dragon Ball card. So now a lot of collectors are pivoting to go back and saying like, yeah, I could keep buying this same art of the same card over and over, just reprinted, or I can actually go get these original pieces.
Right.
And in some cases, spend less money than what people are asking for a copy of the card. So I think that's why you're seeing a rise in people interested in animation art. It's kind of like everyone had this switch go at the same time. And then you also have this influx of new Dragon Ball fans and new content.
That was such a great answer. That answer made complete sense to me. That was a great explanation. I appreciate that answer. That was really nice.
Yeah, that's true. Like Dragon Ball Fighters also. Yeah.
With Marvel, we're always speculating on the hobby growing, more people coming into it. I think at this point, we can definitely say the hobby has grown. The hobby, more people have come into it, more people are starting out into it. And you don't only see it in the Facebook groups, you see it in the amount of people that are participating and watching the content around it.
Yeah.
Sure. You have a channel yourself, you do box breaks, you interact with people. What's your experience been with the hobby growing? What do you think about the hobby growing?
It's a weird question for me to answer because I feel like I'm just part of the growth. You know, like I only started really, this was my first Marvel card, the Kith drop. And it wasn't because I was getting into Marvel cards. It was because I really like Kith. And
gotcha.
And I do love Marvel. So I was like, oh, Marvel Kith. I was like, there's literally no way I don't get a pair of these shoes. So I ended up getting the Cyclops and the Beast. But that was my first dive into Marvel cards. And then when I looked into it, I said, this is way too confusing. I'm out. I was like, there's like 10 million versions of the same card, different parallels, all these weird names. And there's like this COMC thing and EPAT. I'm like,
there's a lot to digest.
I can't. And well, see, my thing was, I'm like, I see prices all over. I was like, nothing's consistent. I was like, I'm going to go crazy and make really bad decisions. So I'm going to just stay out of it. And then I just kind of started peeking around. I started seeing stuff you were posting and then Spidey Hits and some different channels. And it kind of got me more interested. And then Platinum dropped. And I don't know why. Platinum just made sense to me. I could understand it better. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy a box, see how it goes. And then I was just hooked. Bought a box. And that was it.
I think that there's a lot of people that have got some experience in Marvel cards through Platinum. It was maybe their introduction. Maybe it was the thing that got them kind of hooked. But I think Platinum really did that for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely got me hooked. It was a really fun set. I had a blast with it. And then, I went all in. But yeah, to your original question, I don't know. I feel like I'm in here with the growth. So I'm just
it's a good answer
for the ride.
It's a fun time to be involved in it. There's just so much going on, and there's so much.
What was your perspective on it and the growth of Marvel?
So for myself, the growth has been exciting to watch, not only because of the people who are coming in, but because of the different ways that people collect now. When I was collecting Marvel cards, it was all about putting sets in binders. And I started in 1990 MU. I started collecting again in 2012 and buying cards and putting them in binders and just sort of working my way through. And then as a modern collector, I discovered character collecting, and that really changed the game for me. It gave me a direction. It gave me something to target and go after. So the character collecting aspect of it, I think, has been so enjoyable that I see people coming in who are interested in the sets, which is really fun to me. And then I see a group of people coming in for the character collecting and going after inserts and stuff. And that's also really exciting for me. So I get both worlds of it, I guess, on the channel.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's super fun to see both styles. There's something that I don't see a whole lot of, but I know that that is out there are people who are part of the e-pack chase. There's like a whole group of people that don't really do the physical end of box breaks and participate in Marvel cards that way, but they're very much e-pack users. And their hobby is cracking cases, going for achievements, trading with people, and chasing sketches and just putting together really unique collections. That's something that's very new to me, and seeing people who make that their chase is really cool to me. I find that amazing.
That is really cool. Yeah. Yeah. That just opens up to a whole other crowd.
Yeah, there's a whole nother crowd out there. And yeah, it's been all fun. It's been all meeting people. And honestly, I've watched the different ways that so many of you people out there collect, that I've copied little snippets from each one of you to make my collection more interesting. And I've taken a lot of inspiration from Fausto's collection, from Spidey Hit's collection, from a lot of the people who are in the chat right now, from your Instagrams, like how you guys are displaying your cards. I take a lot from that and kind of cater it to my own way. And Donnie, who's in the chats, got me into comic books and stuff like that. So I've taken a lot from you guys. It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Do you want to show us some of the stuff that you pulled out?
Yeah, sure.
Let's check it out.
Well, I can start with Platinum. So this was my favorite card from Platinum. So for me coming into Marvel, what I am biggest on in my collection is getting 6. I love getting autographs from either. In Dragon Ball, you don't really get the opportunity to even know who artists are behind some of the cards, because a lot of times they date back to the show, to the actual original art. And when they're actually drawing like what I just showed, a lot of people think that those are Akira Toriyama. It's usually not. It actually almost never is. It's in the animation studio, and it's artists within the animation studio. And then there's a kind of a, I don't know what you would call it. Someone originally draws it, then someone corrects it, and there's a supervisor that oversees it, and it goes through this whole process, right? Really the only original art for Toriyama for the most part, although there is some out there, is from the actual manga, what he drew for the manga, and that stuff is almost unobtainable. You almost never see it. If you do, one, I don't know how you know it was real.
Yeah.
You would need one hell of an effort to make sure it's real, and two, the price of that would be just enormous. But anyways, for me, so with Dragon Ball, I used to get signatures of voice actors. That was the big thing for me. Whoever voice acted that character, I want their autograph on a card. So when I came into Marvel, seeing that artists, you can get just their autographs from a set, I was like, dude, that's so cool. So my first big chase was to get this Scarlet Witch, because like, okay, this is my first set. The first original art of Scarlet Witch by Casey Parsons. I was like, I want this, and it's the color match, which is personally way more important to me than like how rare it is, what serial number. I much prefer how the card just looks, right? Like I get it. There's more rare versions with this auto on it, but they look way worse objectively.
Sure.
I'm sorry if you disagree, but
no, that's cool. I think that's a great answer. I love it.
I feel like it's like I have the blue one, which is cool, but there's no blue on this. A blue border just doesn't look right. Like the red ties it in so nicely. So I personally just really liked getting the color match. So this was my favorite card from Platinum. It was my first set, so that one has a special place. So I love that one.
Very neat. I love that that's the box art too. You got lucky on that one to have that.
I know. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Really cool.
I pulled up 2 comic cuts that I pulled in addition to that other one. So I pulled actually 3 really big cuts this year. Now, these aren't from sets that came out this year, so I'll go through them a little quicker. But this is from X-Men 4.
Amazing.
Which X-Men 4 is the issue where Scarlet Witch makes her first appearance. And this is basically the background story from Magneto saving her and why she has a debt to Magneto.
Wow.
So it's the first time you see that in the comics. So this one was like a must-have.
Dude.
Shout out to Fausto on this one too. He helped me get both of those because he's just a madman and somehow always knows as soon as they go. I'm like,
yeah, his comic cut sense goes off when one comes up.
Yeah, right.
Wait a second.
He didn't get bit by a spider. He got a paper cut.
That's right. Oh my god, that's so funny. So funny.
All right, so this one is my other favorite one I got. So this one's really cool. So this is Giant Avengers 4. with Wanda saying yes to Vision, them getting married.
Very cool.
Yeah, this one was nuts. I saw someone post it in Spidey Hits Discord. I was like, oh, I gotta have it.
Nice.
I bugged him for it like a million times till he responded. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep annoying you.
100%.
I will annoy you till you respond because I need this cut.
Awesome.
I made an offer and he was like, yeah, I was looking for double that. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Yep. So that was those were my favorite comic cut pulls. And then for Marvel winding down, we talked about PMGs. So I completed my set of these, and this was my favorite art from the 3.
Yeah.
So really like the red PMGs on Scarlet.
Beautiful card.
It's 12 out of 100. So pretty cool, I guess, if you're into numbers.
I love the PMGs. They're my favorite insert. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because it's funny you say that, because when I saw pictures of them, I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when I saw it in person, I was like, oh, these pop.
In hand. Oh man, a PMG in hand definitely looks pretty good in the light.
Yeah, it changed my opinion on them. I didn't get the hype till I was like, all right.
And I understand that people are like, PMGs, everybody likes PMGs. So they're just like a popular insert. But I mean, I really like them. I don't care if it's the most popular thing. I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. They're cool. All right. So now we'll go on to two of my favorite from Masterpieces. So this is one of the achievements for Scarlet.
Cool.
So there's the preliminary art, acetate achievement.
Very nice.
So really cool. It's see-through, obviously. Oh, going away from the camera, but so
Very
really
nice.
like that. And then the last Marvel card I have to show off is just the gold foil Scarlet Witch. Personally, I think this one looks the best. I love it.
Amazing.
I mean, I love that there's but that's what you'll notice. Whenever there's an auto on the card, I'm like, oh, I need it. I'm like, I don't know. I saw, and I love gold too. So I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have that.
Oh, I love it. Those were great selections. Those were absolutely awesome.
Yeah, but I would say those are, at least if not my favorite, definitely representative of my favorite things this year from Marvel.
Very cool. You were talking about how challenging it would be to authenticate an auto from, say, the Dragon Ball Z cards that you were talking about. One thing I like about the new Marvel cards, Topps, is that it's easy to authenticate the autos because Spider-Man didn't sign any of them. So it's
I thought you were gonna say because it's literally Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's so easy to know that these are totally hokey cards, right? These autos I really appreciate that about it. There's zero mystery.
You're telling me that was not Spider-Man, Graydon?
I love when they were calling them, when the community was calling them the janitor autos and stuff like that. But because I'm on the same page as you, I really value an auto. Like, having the autos are a really cool chase in cards, and I really love.
Tell me Santa's not real next, dude.
Yeah, it was. Oh my goodness, it was so funny when all that was going on. I really got a kick out of that. I've also found the Marvel card community has a great sense of humor.
Oh yeah,
Just a great sense of humor,
For sure.
You kind of have to in collecting. Is there anything else that you want to show?
I mean, if I have some Dragon Ball stuff here, if you want to see just other stuff that I collect. I don't know.
I think that people are really digging the Dragon Ball right now.
Are they?
Let's check out some more Dragon Ball.
Okay. All right. So I'll show some Dragon Ball pickups from this year. This one is one of my favorites. Also, probably one of the least valuable that I'll show. But
cool.
What most people don't know about this card is, I don't know if you can see that stamp. I'm sure everyone can. The big gold stamp, it says Divine Multiverse.
Yeah.
So this was from a draft box. If you're familiar with Magic, I know there's some Marvel people getting into Magic now. Drafts are a big thing where you don't have to actually have a deck, right? You can just draft from packs or whatever, and you build your deck on the spot and you get to play and have fun. So Dragon Ball had sets called draft boxes, and that's what they were literally just made to do. Did not work out very well. They were very poorly designed, but they had these special stamps that you could get from the release of the set, and they did a big tournament, and the only way to get these was to go in. So technically, this is the rarest Roshi card in Dragon Ball Masters.
Right.
And I had never been able to get it until recently, and there's actually very few that exist. People just don't.
Congratulations.
That's serialized. I mean, literally is $40, but people don't actually just know what it is. So I was really excited to have that.
That's one of the cool things in card collecting is that things don't have to be numbered to be rare.
Yep.
It can, a little bit of knowledge can really go a long way in discovering rarity of certain things that you want to own.
It really can. It really can. So I'll just quickly go through a few more. This one is a world stamped card. So in Dragon Ball, it's a very competitive card game. It's actually one of my favorite card games I've ever played. I've always been really into card games. So this one is a world stamped. So the way they have it set up is anyone can go to a regional event. And if you top a regional event, usually get like in the top 16, you then get an invite to the national event. If you go to the national event and you get first or second place, you then get an invite to Worlds. So there's only like 8 people that usually we get invited to Worlds, and then sometimes they'll do an open tournament for one more person to get invited. But this is a card that they gave out to Worlds, and you can see right there at the top that stamp. Oh, let me do this. So the stamp that's right there, that is the World stamp from that year.
Very cool.
So pretty neat. And the other cool thing about this, for people that don't know, typically this is just a flat foil, but all this gold, it's all textured. So all this gold is actually like embossed on the card. So
they're beauties.
Worlds. Yeah. So cool.
Fausto just jumped on and said, "What's up?" Fausto, you're going to have to go back and look at all the jokes me and Hermit were making about you.
Oh, dude, I made a really good joke about you. So
you got to go back and check it out. It was really good. Hermit's on fire.
I was a little proud of it, I'm going to say.
Hermit's on fire today. Follow him on Instagram for more stand-up comedy. But
yeah, there we go. There we go.
You'll have to go check it out.
I will disappoint. So
Plaza Collections is saying the cards look really great, and you're totally right. Yeah, Raj, thanks for jumping on.
All right, so this one is a vintage card. This is a vintage pickup from what is it? Visual Adventure. Cool. And this is one of the most sought after vintage sets. And a buddy of mine had this. He was trying to hit at 10. And he was like, yeah, this card looks like crap. It will never grade well. And I was like, sweet, send it to me. And he did. So that was nice.
You got to love your friends that are into grading because they got multiple copies of everything.
Oh, dude, it's great. Yeah. Oh,
awesome.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, this is one of my favorite arts that Akira Toriyama did. I love this art of Goku and Shenron. So I'll just pivot to this. This is a way cooler card of it, in my opinion. Yeah. So this is from a game called Dragon Ball Super Heroes. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it. It's an arcade game in Japan. It's very big. I think they actually just ended it after like 14 years or something. But the only way to get cards is to play the arcade game. So you put in like your token or whatever, and it spits out a card. Yeah, and that's it. And you get a random card, and then you use that card to play the game, the arcade game. So this was an alternate art of a secret rare. So I forget what the pull rate is now. It's like 1 in like 2,700 or something. It's very rare. And this was the first time they did an alternate art of the secret rare, which is usually the highest rarity of the set. So my favorite art, rainbow foil alternate. I was like, oh yeah, gotta have that.
This is a wonderful collection you have. I love the range that you have. Even some of them are graded. You know, the original art cells that you have, the cards that you have. It's really fun to see that. That's what I was talking about earlier with like seeing other people's collections helps me collect. You know, how to put things together and like what to own.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've learned so much just from watching and talking to other people and what they do. And that's actually one of the reasons why I've started to really cut down on my collection and start to really curate it and just focus on what I really want. I mean, last year, I easily had over 100,000 cards in my room for no reason. But I now, like right now, I probably have maybe like a couple thousand left.
Right.
So I mean, I've gone way down in what I keep. Now, a lot of
probably
that
feels better too, though. Right? It probably so feels good.
Better. Oh yeah, it feels so good to just be done with it.
I've joked before, and not even joked, but saying that this hobby is more about being organized. This is more of a hobby for people with a little bit of an OCD that like to be organized and curate. And, you know, there's just something about it. I think there's very few people in the hobby who just have everything sprawled out everywhere because they wouldn't sleep at night. Everything has its little home.
No, from my experience, only people who do that are the players that actually play the TCGs. Like I've got friends that their stuff's just everywhere because they don't care, right? That's not important to them. But yep, collectors. Oh yeah, for sure.
We're a special breed of people. You know, it's really fun. Yeah, I think to myself of the type of people we were as kids, and I feel like we were all, we're all we've grown up.
Oh, yeah, we're the ones going getting. We had the seashell collection and the rock collection, and
Absolutely. Oh, it's such a fun time to be in collecting. And Fausto was saying he comes for the cards, but he stayed for the mustache. And I do appreciate the humor in the card collecting community.
That's good.
I grow facial hair at 3 times the normal human rate, so I just figured this month I'd have a mustache for work, and that's the way I'm doing it.
There you go. I can relate too.
What do we have anything else you want to show there, Hermit? Or have we?
It's up to you. I have a few more things, but I don't know how we're doing on time.
Let's check it out. Yeah, you're on a roll.
Okay. All right. So this is one of my most recent pickups. I've had this card forever, but you can see there's an auto on the card. So I got Cell's voice actor to sign the card. Cool. This is one of my favorite arts with Cell on it. They have in sets for Dragon Ball something they call campaign rares. So it's just basically there's a set of 5 cards that look very similar, like this one, and they're kind of that like monochromatic look to them. So this was the Cell one. Got it signed by the voice actor. It was great. He called me a nerd and made fun of me in front of everybody because I came with like 6 cards to sign. And he was like, yeah, I definitely won't make fun of you. And then as I walked away, he was like, what a nerd. It was funny though. Me and him were cracking jokes.
I love those YouTube shorts where you're like, if you're seeing this, the algorithm recognizes you as a nerd.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it does. So
yeah.
Okay, 2 of my favorite cards now. I'll just show that I got graded this year. So this one is a serial numbered card. There's only 1, 2, 3. Yeah. There's only 3 serial numbered cards in Dragon Ball Super Card Game Masters. Yeah. So this is one of them, and it's my favorite one. And the reason is my favorite one, I love the art. I think it's really cool. But the other is this was from my trip when I went and played in Nationals. I did not top, but I came really close. I bubbled out, which if you're not familiar with card game speak, that means you had the same record as people who topped, but you got caught in the bubble. So they had better tiebreakers than you and got to play the next day for prizing, and you didn't. So bubbled out. But my buddy did, and he got this, and he gave me a really good deal on it. My only goal at going to Nats was to get this card. It was one of the prize cards, and really good friend of mine, Armando. I don't know if he's in here or not, but he gave me a solid deal on it. And so I left with what I aimed to do. So
congratulations on that. I mean, when you have a goal for a trip and it's in your hand on a stream later, that's really cool. It's part of enjoying the collection every day is exactly what you're describing.
Yep. So yeah, that's a permanent piece.
Could you talk to us a little bit about that insane housing that card is living in right now?
Oh yeah. So this is, what is it called? A Zard slab. So it's a Zard slab. So this top piece, I think it pops out like this. Cool. And then your slab just slides in. And
that's obviously bulletproof, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been tested.
Yeah.
It's been tested. Yeah.
Castra is saying nerd is finally a badge of honor. I could not agree with you more. That is definitely a term that is well used around here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Pulling Fire says, stop making fun of my rock collection. And
I'm not. I'm trying to trade. I'm
totally kidding.
I'm trying to work some trades.
They're totally kidding. And then Closet says, I did rock collection. And then Raj says,
we need to take a vote. You know what? I'm gonna put this on Instagram later. How many did you collect rocks and or seashells as a kid? Yes or no? I'm gonna take a poll.
I like it. Check out Hermit's story. That's gonna be there.
It's going to be overwhelmingly yes. I know it.
Absolutely. Everybody collected something.
All right. This is my last Dragon Ball card. And then I have one other card that I just pulled out as a surprise if you want to see it. But this is one of my favorite pieces of my Dragon Ball collection. It was my hardest chase in the Masters card game. I got into a point in Masters where I pretty much had access to any card I wanted if I really wanted to get it. But this was one that always evaded me. This is a regional champion card. So the only way to get it was to win a regional tournament, which doesn't sound that difficult to get because there's quite a few regionals typically during a season. And also it's not the nationals, it's not worlds. So, you're kind of a little bit lower down in the totem pole with regionals. But the thing about this one is if you look at the year, I don't know if you can see it, But it's 2020. It was COVID.
Cool.
So a lot of these never saw the wild. These became extremely rare. My understanding is there's less than 8 that exist in the world.
Holy smokes.
So this was very, very hard to get. And what happened was there's one person who has a play set, which means he has 4 of them.
Wow.
And he plays with them in his deck. He's a madman. But he has 4. I know someone else who has 1 that's never moving it. And I know another person who has 1 that's never moving it. So I think I may have the last one who's also never moving it. So I don't know that these will ever see the market until that player decides he's done playing and wants to move his playset.
Right. Interesting. It's a great feeling knowing where cards are. Like when there's really rare cards that exist that are part of your hobby, I like knowing who owns them. Even if they have no plans on moving them, it is nice to know that I don't have to lay there at night thinking that they're stuck in a box that has never been opened, or if you know what I mean, or the wonder is gone. I like knowing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, those are the Dragon Ball cards I pulled. I did pull one other card. It's just this Mickey.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Mickey. I'm a big Disney fan. My wife and I actually got married in Disney. She used to work there. So Disney is really important to us. So when Lorcana came out, I played a little bit. I didn't keep playing. It was fun, but it got a little boring. But I do collect some of the Mickey cards. So they released a full art version of Brave Little Tailor, and that is like the art for Mickey for Lorcana that people went crazy about. So now I own every iteration of this card except for the gold winner that sells for like 20 grand. So I'll never own that. So.
Yeah. We were talking about cards that were never getting moved, and Raj says, "So you're saying there's a chance." Raj, you're a good EPAC user with that mantra. I like it. You're going places. That was super fun. Now, thanks so much for sharing all of that stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, I was excited to share it. I'm glad that people hopefully like seeing it.
The explanations are great. I love the backstory and like getting to understand a little bit more. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there, my friend. Where can the people find Mr. HermitStyle?
Instagram's probably the best place. So you can just go. I think I'm just hermit.style, hermit like a period style. So you can find me there. I'm on Discord too. I'm usually in Spidey Hits or some of the other Discords, and I am on YouTube, and I need to do more content. I've been thinking I'm going to start doing it probably. So you can look at me there. And then I also do a Dragon Ball podcast. So if you're into podcasting, I've been very lazy with it. I said I was going to do it monthly again starting in September, and I haven't done one since September, but there's another one coming at some point. So if you're into podcasts, you can feel free to, we're on all the apps, whatever you listen to. So
that's awesome. You have the full podcast set up there. You look like you are ready to have a podcast.
I do. And I have my big obnoxious interface behind me too that makes it even look more official. But the real thing is that I don't really know what I'm doing with any of it. So
you're having fun, and I love it. Make sure you guys are following Hermit. Go check his stuff out. He's always around. Want to thank everybody who is in chat today, having fun with us. All of our new subscribers. Thanks for being part of it all. We love having you guys in the chat and getting to joke around, catch up with friends. Show your guys' comments on here and have it contribute to the conversation and have it build and go in that direction. So thank you so much for being here. You are all greatly appreciated. We're just going to
leave a like if you haven't and subscribe if you haven't.
Thank you. That would be awesome. And we're just going to remind everybody that nerd is finally a term that is a badge of honor in this chat. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Hermit, thanks for being a guest again. You're one of my favorites. You're so pleasant. This is great.
Oh, dude, this is so fun. Thank you for having me. I was so excited that you wanted to have me back. I was like, nice. I didn't make a total ass of myself. So
this is awesome, and Fausto, make sure you go back and see some of these jokes we made. It's pretty good. There's no chance of us being this funny again. So check it out.
No, right. Yeah, this is my peak.
That's right. This is it.
It's all downhill from here.
All right, guys. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing some Dragon Ball stuff. It's a little bit different for the channel here. It was really enjoyable. And have a good weekend. Take care, and we'll all catch up again real soon. See ya.